Cut the lube up.
It's a beautiful night out. Stars are out and everything. You see that show, Cosmos? Everybody was telling me to watch it, so I gave it a look. It was a great show, but everybody was saying Carl Sagan's so great. And I'm just like, yeah, that's cool, but why is the guy with the Jewish name this black guy with an afro? It's gotta be the weirdest looking Jew I've seen. Unless he's like one of those black Hebrew Israelites. You know what those are? Good show, though. What are you gonna do? All right, my turn.
Hey! What's going on over there? Whoa!
Hide this, hide this. Let me do the talking, okay?
What do you two think you're doing here?
Nothing, man. Just chilling.
You got some nerve. You're lucky you don't call the cops right now.
What, man? We ain't hurting nobody.
Come on, man. Cut the shit. There are kids that live in this neighborhood. Honestly, you two make me fucking sick.
All right, you know what, man? What's your beef, huh?
What are you, mute?
So the robot turns into a bug.
This is unbelievable.
All right, you know what, man? What do you want from us?
I want you to put on your fucking masks. Jesus Christ, we have an epidemic going on. Listen, if you two want to go chase the dragon, that's great, but at least have a little bit of decency doing it. There, I have some extras, okay?
Cool. All right. Yeah, thanks.
Remember, all right? Keep those masks on throughout the rest of the night.
Absolutely.
All right, be safe. We got a curve to flatten.
Righteous, man. We'll do our part. You believe that, quack? That dope. Black Jewish people.
Come on.
Is it me or is it really hot in here?
I'm about to teach you how to make a quick buck easy and pain-free.
The following is a paid commercial program.
How's it going, everybody? Venture Capitalist here. I'm about to teach you how to make a quick buck easy and pain-free. The world is changing. Jobs are dwindling. You need to get your finances in order. What are you going to do for a living? Are you going to open a pet shop and watch all those dogs get put down? You're going to start a cafe, put orange peels in a coffee, and call that a fancy drink? What are you, fucking retarded? The thing about this economy that a lot of people don't know is that it's about to plummet. Yeah, people are going to lose their houses, they're going to be losing their jobs. I just had my sister who works at Lowe's. She's been a lumber lady since the early 80s. She is no longer in the job because they have these Puerto Rican robots coming in to chop up all the wood for her. It's a very unfortunate situation that a lot of these hard-working individuals just aren't going to have jobs. I made my first $1 million packing up hardware for Amazon.com. But the truth is, you know, it's 2019. We're about to exit this decade. And that's something you got to think about. What are growing industries in this United States of America? You don't want to be put into a position where you're selling your skin to burn victims. I come from a generation of youngsters who thought that they could just sit on their ass all day listening to Lana Del Rey albums, thinking that some 65-year-old man was just going to come through on a motorcycle, on a Harley, pick him up, and give him the keys to the kingdom. Absolutely not. This is just a pure and simple fantasy perpetuated by cultural pedophiles. What you need to do is get into a market that has been long overlooked, not overlooked by a venture capitalist like yours truly, and that market is the Halloween store. Halloween stores are opening up every October, left and right, every single street. You want to make Halloween masks of your enemies' faces. What you want to do is invest in the Halloween market. You gotta go work at the Halloween store. A lot of people nowadays, you know, they lose their job and their first instinct is to play with themselves on camera. I was living on the street. I was eating hard-shelled tacos out of a minivan for 3 months in Cleveland. That is the way to get yourself into a financially comfortable position. In Cleveland, Hollywood is putting out these terrible franchise movies, but you know who's thriving because of that is the costume industry. There's so many mistakes a young person can make before they set themselves up into a spot where they can actually do some damage on the stock market. When I was just a boy, my original dream, my aspiration for a career was to sell Seinfeld DVDs on eBay. But this isn't plausible in today's day and age, unfortunately. So you gotta think smart. Fucking God fucking damn it, shut the fuck up. When I was just... You fucking... When I was just... Venture capitalist wouldn't... Venture capitalists would never lie to you. Me, I don't need money anymore. That's why I'm selling these courses to you, so you can make all the money in the economy and become tomorrow's Bill Gates. I don't think he's even the richest guy in the world anymore. You gotta think smart. You gotta think sharp. Call now for the... fuck, I just bit my tongue. Some people say I sold my soul to MasterCard.
Yeah, I've got a cop story. I mean, I didn't do nothing wrong, but of course they came after me. Happened on a sunny afternoon in the summer of 2016. I was just doing good deeds, being a good citizen. I was out by the local Jewish temple, passing them out copies of the Quran to show them there was nothing to be afraid about. Then all of a sudden, this young woman in a police cruiser pulls up. She comes out of the cruiser and walks up to me. I've still got 2 fresh Korans in my hand ready to inspire these young kids, and she interrupts. And she says, "Sir, what the heck are you doing here today?" And I said, "Why, nothing, good miss. I'm just teaching these kids on the wonders of lactic acid."
When I was a youth, summer was about hanging out with your friends in the woods, drinking Pabst Blue Ribbons and smoking weed. Nowadays, all the fucking woods are shut down. Government tells you show up there, they'll shoot you in the fucking head. Can't go to the woods no more. It's no more finger-banging raver girls in a back alley behind the fucking Safeway. No way. 2020, there's a new American pastime. And that is fight cops. Fuck baseball. Nobody watches baseball anymore. They don't even fucking play in the United States. You know what they fucking play? Fight cops. If you want to survive in 2020, you gotta learn how to fight. Not just learn how to fight, you gotta learn how to fight cops. And cops come with a whole arsenal of weapons that you're gonna have to look out for. Batons. They hit you in the head with the baton, you're gonna have a bad time. Get sprayed in the face with some fucking bear mace, you're gonna have a bad time. Let me tell you this. I've been maced 1 or 2 times in the past. I've had my share of fights with the police. In fact, the most recent fight, there's this girl I know in high school. Well, I knew in high school, right? I don't still know her in high school. I'm not fucking Christiella. I don't hang out around high schools to hang out with girls. And when I was in high school, this one girl, super slutty, gave me a blowjob. And naturally, I came in her mouth. But I didn't necessarily let her know that that was happening. So it choked her out. Choked her out enough that cum came fucking shooting out of her nose. Pretty goddamn hilarious. I tell my friends this. Naturally, we come up with a fucking nickname for her, and we call her Snot Cum. Fast forward 15 years, I'm in a knife fight. Up the fucking road, at a gas station. Guess what cop responds? That's right, Snot Cum. She gets out of the car and points her fucking gun at me, and I'm like, oh shit, it's Snot Cum. She didn't really like that, and I understood my mistake at that point. I said, excuse me. Deputy Snot Cum. Respect the badge. Yeah, so she beat me over the head with a baton that night.
Lactic acid is actually a really good thing if you're trying to build muscle or lean out or something like that. I don't know what's crawled up her ass. So she calls backup, and like 15 minutes goes by, and I sharted a little bit because I was sitting down for 15 minutes detained. I couldn't use the restroom. So then a man and another cruiser rolls in. I think he was the sergeant. He gets out and he's tall. He's tall like my Uncle Jeff. He says, "Young man, what are you doing here today?" And I say, "Why, nothing, kind sir. I'm simply giving these children a history lesson about Paul Partain, the actor who played Franklin in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and how he was actually a detriment to the film, and most of the cast didn't like him. As a matter of fact, they hated his guts. Therefore, when he had passed on, I think around 2001, the cast had breathed a sigh of relief. He was the first to go, and they liked it that way." He looks back at me and he says, "Son, are you some kind of maniac?" Then he brings me over to the cruiser. He's got me in cuffs, and he looks at me once again right before he puts me into that cruiser and sends me off to be booked unjustly. And he says, "How'd you do at the baseball game today?" And I said, "Dad, I knew it was you."